your character's gonna live, so that's a shame.
Damn, been fun. Can I still chill and
Listen,
chat?
we've established all our healths are shit.
Yeah, I think we're all
So-
like at like 30, right? Like 33 to
Yeah.
34.
Yeah, you are.
Don't talk for
We're
everybody.
so close to having 3 bards, and I'm still.
Well, how much health do you have then?
How would you know?
Well, I'm asking you.
Because
Well, it's a secret.
Why is this a deal?
Okay then. I didn't realize we're
Because
gonna
we'll
gauge in
tell you,
PvP.
like,
Just know
wait.
my character has an AC of like 21 by default. So good fucking luck.
just know, I would like to refrain from PvP. Thank you, please.
Poor favor.
Don't worry, it'll be fun. Okay, Aldrich, we.
Aldrich? Man, Aldrich really has transcended. This is his epilogue.
He's like reading his name off
Yes.
the cat list. Get off my dick.
Meanwhile, Aldrich just has like a book that he's like scribbling in. Everyone's like, "What are you doing there all the time?" Oh, just writing a story.
Playing with the lives of mere mortals.
This is Owen writing something right now. It's just
Amazing.
Honestly,
All
if
right.
Aldrich said that, I fully believe it. Continue.
So, some context for the letter. You've been in the city long enough now to become accustomed to the weird day and night cycles that most people live by. Because of the barrier that covers the entire city, even the ruined side, there is a very vibrant nightlife. So, with that in mind, it would probably be about an hour before sunset when your normal day begins. It's been about 2 days since you all arrived at the assigned location where you were asked to meet up, which is one of the music bars, one of the more popular music bars, Ruinside. Do you have any questions before we jump into it?
so it has a weird day-night cycle. Does that mean do we just have like immensely longer nights as opposed to the real world? Is that how it works?
No, but because of the barrier is colloquially known as the aurora, and the reason for that is because when it interacts with moonlight or starlight, it literally shines up like a aurora borealis.
Ah.
So the city is never really dark.
It's just lit by different means.
Yes.
It's like a 100 times better version of New York.
Are you
Sure.
sure about that?
New York is pretty trash. I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
Garbage.
Don't tell Taryn I said that. Actually, no, she probably agree with me. Never mind.
Isn't she from like some? Anyway.
Alright, so we are meeting in a bar.
Outside the bar.
Outside a bar.
Yes.
Music bar. Hell
It is right on the edge of ruined side versus reclaimed side. So you'd be a stone's throw away from the city proper.
The pardon?
The city proper.
The city.
Oh, the city proper. Okay.
And what kind of bar is it?
It's a music bar.
Minstrel's song.
What kind of music? Can I imagine a jazz club or?
It is a jazz club, essentially.
And music.
It is a jazz club, more or less.
Hell yeah.
Jazz
Alia,
club.
who sent you the letter. Let's see, where's the picture? Can you see it if I move it here?
Yes. It's all the way
Okay.
to the right. It's still on the white space.
That's some great
Yes.
makeup work.
I know, right?
No, it's not
So
makeup.
this is-
She just naturally is like that.
Oh, dope.
Yes. Alia being from the western region, just on the border side of the Kadesh has a different background than what most Deciduans do. That's where the tribal markings come from. And this is also why she is working where she is right now in reclamation rather than the station her test score would afford her or entitle her. She has informed you as much since arriving, and you are currently waiting for her to show up. You would have been introduced to each other in passing, so I imagine that right now the four of you are probably standing outside a bar in a very awkward silence.
Yes, the classic beginning.
Is this place
Love it.
called the Frost's Embrace? I'm pretty sure the only way we got introduced.
Give Fred's World some credit. It's probably better than Sindel.
Yeah, fair.
If there's also a pissed off halfling bartender in there, I'm calling a copyright infringement. Like, I hope you called your lawyer.
He was a pretty jolly fella until we showed up and
Yeah,
skinned
he
him
was
off his
okay
kitchen.
until he met you guys. But moving past that,
Sorry.
how busy is it? Like, it's about to hit sunset, right? So is it exceptionally busy, or the counter of that of not busy at all because no one's out yet?
It's a line is beginning to form outside. It's currently quiet inside, so it's the hour before opening.
Got it.
Though there is
How does
music coming. Pardon, Dargana?
How does everybody look?
In the line or the people you're waiting with?
Both.
It's a wide assortment of people. Most of them seem to have some sort of coin on their person, as in they're not dressed in rags.
Got it.
Though they do seem to come from all walks of life.
So nobody's poor, but nobody's like super rich.
Exactly.
Middle class poor, hell yeah.
It's a popular
Alex
missing
and
You got to go down.
Kindle, the two of you would probably be familiar with this place because your knowledge of things are inside, and you would know that the owner of the establishment is a woman who is the niece of a very, I want to say reputable dungeoneer named Old Gak.
That's a great name.
Which is where the place got its name from. It's called Gak's Haunt.
Ooh.
You don't have to wait for too long. About 15 minutes after the appointed time, you see a familiar person approach. You see Alia. She's currently not dressed in her official garb. She is civilian, so to speak. And she calls out to you as he approaches. Oh, you're here. Thank you. I got held up on my way here. First, thank you so much for answering. I need your help, but let's talk on the way. And she motions for you to follow. Music fading away in the background. And
First
you
off, question.
Go ahead.
Does this bar sell oysters?
Oh god. It's a good question.
It begins. I can't wait.
It does.
Alright, I would
Those oysters?
have been eating some oysters.
Okay,
I
yes.
have been watching astoundedly at the moving otter that talks. Eating oysters. But I don't say anything.
Could I have a picture of everybody? Because I forgot you were an otter.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I'll introduce
We get to that. We get to that.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Oh, it's preps.
Yes.
He's been waiting for years.
I will.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, but I will ask you to describe your characters. I will start with O, then I'll go to Garth, and then I'll go to Crash, and then I'll go to Dragana.
Alright.
Right now?
As he's
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'll
he's
give you a
ready.
minute. I'll give you a minute. You make your way southwestward through relatively busy streets, still looking somewhat tidy. The buildings are not yet in disuse. There are storefronts. There are hawkers even at this hour, calling out, trying to get your attention, selling their wares. As you go further south, further west, this gradually declines. Eventually, you reach a point where the city structure completely changes from livable condition to disuse, ruin, collapsed alleyways. But intermittently, there's the odd restored building. And as you approach a cluster of restored buildings, Alia turns to Professor Fizzle and she says, Fizzle, I've seen your ingenuity many times, and in my opinion, it's underappreciated. I'm very happy to have you on board for this. I think we'll need your mind. And if you would like to describe yourself, now's the time.
Yeah, I think as she goes to say, it's you just having an oyster, and he pulls out this little machine that's like almost like a windmill that has like a rock attached to the end of it, and he's just like holding it up to the oyster. He's just having it break it open. And he's, oh, well, thank you. I'm happy to be here. I don't exactly know what we're doing, but I think we'll do great. He's just a little brown and white otter with a vest on and a coat over it that has about at least 100 pockets. And on his shoulder, he has a little mechanical owl. It's just like pecking at the oyster. Oh, no, stop. It's like, well, it's nice to meet you all. Sorry, I was a little bit preoccupied earlier, but I think that's gonna go great. So what do y'all do?
Does Fizzle have any striking features other than being an otter?
Besides the obvious.
He's literally an otter.
Oh, he does have
I'm a talking animal.
he does have a silver tail.
Like silver as in like silver sheen, or literally made out of silver?
It looks like it's probably made out of silver.
Man, this otter's richer than me. Just in his tail alone.
Some of you may be concerned. Probably not a sight you see very often, but hi, I'm Professor Fizzle Fuzzyfoot. I do a lot of work over at the college, and as you may see, I am in fact an otter. But don't worry. This was actually just a side effect of a very groundbreaking experiment. But I think I'm excited to be here.
Has Alex possibly heard of what that groundbreaking experiment could have been?
No, but you are familiar with the college. All of you are. The College of Magi, as it's called, is the governing body of the Enclave, which is a independent, self-governing city within the city. Think the Vatican, run by mages.
So better in every way.
You say that, we don't know.
I mean, for like 1,000 years, they were the mecca of technological breakthroughs, so the comparison's pretty fitting.
Indeed.
Fair enough.
Indeed. She turns to you, Alex, and she says, and Alex, I appreciate you being here, circumstances considered. Sometimes being light of foot is an essential skill to have, and you are very light on your feet.
Why, thank you. I would always come running if you requested it. And he does like a super ostentatious bow. Copyright strike on the name Alex. I mean, he is a thief, so,
Copyright strike.
How would you describe Alex?
I cop out. Just throw that picture in the chat. Minus the gun.
Wow. Oh, the gun's the
Yeah.
redeeming feature, though.
So the buttless chaps and everything.
They
crotchless
probably
chaps.
they probably wrap around, and he probably has like something like. No, wait. He literally has a cloak because I have cloak.
How many excess belts do you have? This is a very important question.
Oh, you know for a fact he got a lot of extra belts.
Are you a mummy made out of belts?
Pretty much. But he
Okay,
does have
fair
like a cloak that's more like a fancy what are they called? Shawl that goes like over the shoulders, and underneath that you can see like straps of multiple different things. But he has very fine clothes, and even like the leather straps seem to be like well made. He seems
Rich
like
boy.
a fucking rich bitch. Anyways.
And Damien, Lind is a dear friend. She's been a huge help in the reclamation process.
I just hold up a
And
hand.
she
Say no more.
she assures me that your blade is as sharp as hers.
Shake my head at that. She lies.
Well, I'm sure it will be sharp enough.
I do a bow at that. A low bow.
How would you describe Damien?
He's probably his attire is like this, like sort of like a row, but it's like tied off at places, so like the wrist, the ankles, stuff like that. So it looks baggy, but it's also functional. Because every character I will ever make has a mask. He too has a mask, so suck it. And he has like this sort of like mantle, which looks like it's just held together by like a clasp around his neck, ready to just be flung off. And of course, he has his blade, ever ready at his side.
O and Alex can both roll me their what would this be?
Insight check.
Roll a d20 and add either your intelligence or charisma modifier.
Damn it, they're the same.
Boy, I wonder which one of these I'm going to choose. Oh, that's still GM.
Oh yeah, I also have dope bracers with jade inlaid in them.
Shiny.
Yes, and it is detail that, and paired with a comment about the sharpness of the blade, that leads you to believe that Damien is what is colloquially called a blackfish. But you also know that calling someone a blackfish is not something you want to do to their face.
Glub glub, motherfuckers. That's in no way actually related to what the term is, but
What does that mean to me? Being a blackfish.
so I could swim underwater.
A monk that could cut your head off in less time than it takes for you to blink.
Neat. I like this person already.
My eyes wander over to the literal talking otter. Still,
I feel like we're all kind of passively just staring at those characters, just like,
I'm like trying to look away, but like just like curiosity gets the better of me, and I end up keep looking.
It's like throwing his head up, shoveling oysters down.
You know, that's enough sight for me for today. Actually, I stopped looking at him.
As you continue, you reach what appears to be a larger square, and at one of the corners in front of a building that seems to have been converted into some sort of headquarters. Outside this headquarters is a raised platform, atop which there is a circular disc. Alia steps onto the disc, and as she does so, she turns to Kindle. And Kindle, I appreciate you being here. I can never get over how big those gloves are.
I don't think I'd be like wearing them all the time. It's like right now we're like just chilling, so they're in my pockets, kind of.
Bulging pockets.
Yes. It looks like I have gigantic balls, just like
Gigantic
very
balls in your pockets.
Phrasing.
y'all nasty. Yes.
I mean-
so yeah,
I don't think
it's-
it was.
don't mess with me, basically. So, hi, I'm Kindle. I'm a very tiny, Chinese-looking dude. Very rough black hair. And I wear just like basic clothes, nothing too huge. I do have a coat on right now. It's getting dark. It's cold, and in that coat is just two very huge pockets. It looks like I have just very heavy weights. I think they're bigger than my head. Yeah, I don't know what's in there, but there. Yeah, that's that one. But other than that, I'm a really tiny Asian dude, and I have an Italian accent.
What?
I am an Italian Chinese dude. What is not to understand?
China doesn't exist technically.
Chinese is a family name, actually.
I'm keen that a Chinese.
You describe like short Chinese dudes, and I'm like just running through my list of friends right now. Like, let's see, he's 5'5", yep, short. I'm just going through a list of my real life friends now that I could put into this scenario.
Yes, I am keen that a Chinese. The very tiny halfling with very huge pockets.
Alia motions for the four of you to step onto the raised platform and onto the disc where she's waiting.
Do so.
Yeah.
Gets up there.
I like tiptoe on it, and with every step, my shoes light up like Skechers.
Oh god, you're a clown.
You have no idea. Anyway,
No
she takes out a little figurine. It's the shape of an owl. It's a completely green jadeite owl, and she puts it on the platform. The platform itself turns a similar green color, glowing, of course, and starts hovering up into the air above the building and slowly heads north.
I've never been comfortable with these things.
Those of you who have been in the city before or live in the city, you've seen these. Commonly referred to as going by disc. And the owl figurine is currently a little owl, a miniature owl about the size of a pine cone, and it's flying atop the little disc, as if it's navigating.
Amazing.
We'll go the rest of the way by disc. It's safer and faster.
Is a disc essentially their version of a bus?
Yes,
Okay.
if you have
Thank you
access.
very much.
Will it just be the five of us on this expedition?
The four of you. I would like to go with you, but I have obligations up here that prevent me from endangering myself. She does that in air quotations.
Nah, don't.
But
So,
You can just say you don't want me prying in your private life.
I did mention in my letter that I have recently met someone. Her name is Enon. She's been a tremendous help with all of this. That's how I got the owl and got this running. There's so much to... My head is so full of problems lately. We've been attacked. There was an attempt at my life. But I'm fortunate enough to recruit old Gak, and he put together a team that I could trust. And of course, I knew Lind from before.
How many were on this team?
They were 4, like you. Old Gak, his niece's man, I suppose. Mogata. The two of them. If you can't can't have one without the other. A skilled fighter, and then a young wizard named Timorian, who said he had Ambrose's permission. He wanted to prove that he had what it took to be a war mage, but I was in no position to decline such eager help when it's necessary. Fizz, you recognize this name, Timorian. A few days before the letter arrived, there was a commotion in Ambrose's branch of the college where there was a lot of shouting, and you heard the name Timorian being repeated. And this young wizard was denied entry. He was not allowed to train with the war mages.
Why would they send him? Wasn't not to speak ill of the possibly deceased, but he wasn't even good enough to train with the war mages.
Well, I had word from Anon that she had word from Ambrose that he deserved the chance to prove himself. Politics, it's not... Well, enclave politics is not my kind of politics.
Sounds like Ambrose was just trying to get him out of...
Possible.
Does that make sense? Why would you send 4 people? 4 people had already failed. It seems like you'd at least try something new. Be fine.
Well, for about a month, they did excellent work. Most of the reclamation went as it's supposed to, pushing out gangs, uprooting criminal elements is not always risk-free, but they handled it expertly, I would say. Anon provided some extra war mage security, and as she says this, you see individuals patrolling streets below you, and even in the light of the aurora, you can see similar silvery flashes reflected in the light as is being reflected in Fizzle's tail.
And how deep are we going in?
You see that tall structure over yonder. She points northwest. We'll be stopping about a block from the structure. I sent a scout after them, and they didn't report back when they said they would. He presented me with this, and she produces a hexagonal disc about half an inch thick. And she hands it over to Fizzle.
What's it made out of?
Do I recognize that?
It's made out of the same material as your tail.
Does it have any markings on it to indicate like where or who it was from?
It does not. It is slightly more chromatic in sheen, though, than your tail. He's in a coma now, so unfortunately I didn't have the opportunity to ask him anything pertinent, but he did say it's on the wall. I don't know what that means.
Oh, well, he just furiously starts writing that down, circles it, starts doing some outward web graphing, putting in names.
He's getting like a whole conspiracy theory board up on a single book.
Busts out the chalkboard out of nowhere.
He pulls out like a robot head,
What?
a flask,
It's honestly impressive. What do you have
firecracker
down there?
looking things. Oh, here we go.
if you need help holding anything, like I would offer my hands.
Oh no,
Wait,
it's,
really?
it's very good. It's sometimes you have to find the right pocket.
I give Alia a look. I just raise my eyebrow at her.
I could definitely use some of those pockets.
She gives you a placating smile.
I look back at Fizzle. I don't say anything.
So, hi. Once again, nice to meet y'all. I am a artificer of sorts, professor, biologist, nanobiologist, experimental chemist. But what do y'all do?
I wonder.
I am a I am an artist, and as I say this, my hands just like I make like the rainbow motion, and then out of that, just like little pigeons fly away, but are made out of light, and sparks are everywhere.
Oh, hmm. Ow! Why would you do that? Just because it's made of silver does not mean I cannot feel that. Stop it!
I didn't do anything. I slipped.
Did I do? What did you do?
One of y'all stepped on my tail.
Oh.
I take a step away from him. It was not me.
Damien, one more thing before I drop you off and the platform begins descending.
Yes.
I had an arrangement with the original team, with Lind, specifically. Any jade artifacts discovered in the process of reclamation would be sent first to the Order, of course, in exchange for a small finder's fee. The same deal will apply to you and yours if you're willing to take it.
I'll keep an eye out.
And what exactly are we to be expecting?
The author raises a good point.
That is a sense I didn't expect to hear today.
I haven't worked in reclamation for very long, but the city is built on top of old buildings, on top of old ruins. It's layer upon layer upon layer, going down. I don't know how far, but traps are not uncommon. Ambushes are not uncommon. The War mages tell me that they found the odd creature roaming up from below every now and then. One of the reasons why it's slow work and dangerous. Expect the worst, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's all the advice I can give, really. And with that, the platform comes to a halt, hovering just above the ground. You're about 2 blocks from the tall structure she pointed at. They did say that they were looking below, so I would start there. The original team I sent, I mean.
So, Alia, is this more of a rescue mission or?
Oh, yeah, yes, of course. Primary objective, get them out of there if they're still okay. You will be compensated regardless.
Question: is this? And I pull out the silver thing. Is this from one of them?
The scout I sent to check on them when they didn't report back brought it up. Yes.
Ah, okay. Do you have anything else from them? Just by chance.
I'm afraid not.
Where did the scout find it? Did they say?
All he said was it's on the wall.
Not very specific.
No, I'm afraid not.
I would recommend you find a better scout if you can.
If I didn't have nobles conspiring against me, I'm sure I could.
And Alia, did you mention a secondary object?
Well, clear whatever hazard remains in the rubble. Make it safe for the reclamation crew to restore the building.
And as we get closer in this area, do I recognize about it? Would I know any like of the ecology? Is near water level? Is it's very like what are we talking about?
It is not far from one of the artificial lakes, but you are higher up, altitude-wise. So you could probably extrapolate that you will not be facing any flooding if you're lucky.
No, I don't like that at all. Okay. As soon as we get out, I just put a couple small little things out of one of my pockets and put them on the. Take a syringe and drip some water on them, and they grow into 2 large dogs.
Well, those are fast growing.
Oh,
Always
I guess you
impressive
could
to
say
see.
that. Hand it to him and sit in front of the dog's face and let him get a sniff of it. I don't know if y'all have any preparations to make, but if you could just give me a few moments. Pulls out like half of a chemistry set and just starts going to work.
Yes. Do you have any other questions before I return? I'm sorry, I wish I could be of more help.
Did you see them off?
I did.
How geared were they?
Not the best armed team, I'll admit. They mostly took Gak being a dungeoneer, the trap disarming tools as far as I could gather. Oh, one more thing. She pulls out a satchel and takes out a healing potion, hands it to each of you. It's the basic kind.
Basic bitch.
Oh, thank you.
And this might be reaching, but would I know who made this potion?
The exact person who made it.
Yes, the certain type of layering these type of plants. It was Jeff.
Hey, different bottle, different labeling.
Tell you what, roll Arcana.
Please get a natural 20. I need the honor to know. 24 though.
Yes, you recognize the glassware. It is the glass itself is made by the same person who provides you with your glassware, and you could extrapolate from that it is 1 out of 3 people. It is either hold on, where's my notes?
Wow, you actually have notes. Okay, cool.
Got the notes.
Like this detailed.
It's either Kazan or it is what's his name?
Sagittarius.
No, it's Illyria. Kazan, or it is Illyria, or it is
Bob.
no, it's Ethera. Kazan or Etheria being the more likely candidates for this potion.
I'm gonna dab a little on my tongue. Ugh. This has got to be one of Kazan's work. They always taste so horrible.
Any more questions before I head off?
Yes, Alia. How are you doing?
I wish I could sleep more than I do, but time being of the essence.
Of course. Well, when I am back, maybe I can sing you to sleep, and I wink at her.
As much as I appreciate the gesture, Kindle, I do not think that's appropriate.
Of course, of course.
I am getting married soon.
Oh, well, who is the lucky lady?
Anon, I mentioned her previously.
Yeah, I literally said the name. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
do
You
I
said we didn't know what she was.
recognize who Anon could be, or is it just like the two options you said before? It's just like that name not specific enough for me to recognize him.
Let's see.
Okay.
It would be for you, word of mouth. Make a choice between investigation and charisma, straight charisma.
What? Oh, I thought I took expertise in investigation. Nah.
This
No.
would have been
Would I?
retroactive. This would be a representation of ground footwork you've done previously.
Apparently not much. Even though he is
I don't
very
know.
highly invested in this, it's just like, nope.
You didn't get any leads, all right?
Yeah.
No,
Sometimes it
Looking
is
for
that
nothing.
no, it's pretty much what we discussed previously, Garth.
Okay.
You said I wouldn't have known that she was with anybody. I just assumed I didn't know. But since she mentioned Inan, would I know who she is?
No, not with your background.
Okay. Okay.
Fizzle Fuzzyfoot, MD, does know who Anon is. It's up to him.
MD. Damn it.
he's 100-something years old and he's got a bunch. Okay.
He went to school for a reason. He's going to use the names.
Yeah. What would I know about her? Oh yeah, Anon will make you a. I'm sure you'll be happy.
Yes,
She's quite accomplished.
Tell me about her.
Well, congratulations.
Point to the silver tail.
Anything else?
She's one of Ambrose's. She's very capable. Moving up. I'm sure she'll do. I'm sure she'll be taking over some people's positions soon. Y'all make quite the power couple.
That does sound like her.
Well, my congratulations.
About my head towards Elia.
I have to be the best man, please.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, if I don't get invited, I will.
No, they're not going for an invitation. They're going for, like, they want to be part of the show, dude.
Well, that's if we all don't die here today, of course.
I will make
Tell
it
me-
back for that. Continue.
Tell you what, the ceremony will probably be held in the Noble District, but I don't see why we couldn't do a private celebration, just us, Anon, and old Gak, should he return safely. I really hope he does. His niece and I are close friends.
This sounds wonderful.
Oh yes, Kindle. The niece she mentions is someone who generally lets your crew into the music bar Gak's Haunt when there is normal downtime, so off hours. So during the day, essentially, you guys are allowed to peruse the bar, play music as normal patrons would, without being scrutinized by the public eye.
Aw, I like her. What's her name?
Elise.
Yes.
If there's nothing else, I have to get back.
We should get
Of
going.
Yes, it's one moment. furiously mixing potions together.
There's no rush, Otter. Time is of the essence, but I would much rather us actually have tools to use.
Yes, take your time, Professor. It is all okay.
Well, it's very unlikely, but he stands up. Some small syringes, hands on each wall, just in case we run into one of those artificial lakes.
And this would be...
Well, it'll help your body filter out the hydrogen and water, so you'll be able to process it as just oxygen.
Water breathing.
Thank you.
I use this
tuck it away.
potion of water breathing. That was unexpected.
I wish you the best of luck, but I would prefer you return safely if all things... Well, you know what I mean.
Alia, don't.
Stay safe.
I will crash down the walls if I have to get these dumbasses out of here.
I appreciate it, Kindle.
We'll be fine.
I will return with Lind, or I will not return at all. Be
He
safe.
nods at that. Yes.
That got
Until we meet
fast.
again. And then she hovers away on the owl platform.
By the way, when I say dumbasses, I would never mean the otter. I respect the professor.
Kind of looked a little dejected when you said that.
Yeah, just like an asterisk above that sentence, except professor. Because
Yeah, you can convey asterisk in verbal conversation.
You highly overestimate how much Alex gives a shit.
I don't care.
Yeah.
The buildings around you at the moment are very much in the disuse, crumble state of existence, to the point where most of the alleyways are cluttered with too much rubble to navigate. You do have a clear path to the buildings you pointed at.
Like just a straight shot? Like just straight road there?
Yep. End of
Go
the
ahead.
block sort of deal.
Gotcha.
Being an archaeologist, what I think about this building? Like, say, Badoo.
when you enter a ruin.
It's Indiana Jones sense.
It does apply. You would know that this particular, the surface structures here
Shit, where's that thing?
would be early as... Pardon?
Nothing.
He's
So
cursing
Crash sent me a
himself. Ignore him.
thing that's like a flowchart of how sneak attack works, and I forgot to bring it up, and I desperately need it. Anyways, continue.
Ignore
Yes.
him.
You would know that these are early Assyrian dynasty.
Oh, this will be rather interesting. We might find some information on the Archons while
Well, the scene is yours. What do you do?
I jump on one of my dogs. Let the other one smell let them both smell the silver object I was given. Get a scent for it.
All right. You could roll survival for them.
I want to look around. Are there any, I'm not necessarily obvious, but apparent spots to descend into the underground?
Nothing that catches your eye immediately.
18.
Oh yeah, they seem to have caught some kind of scent, and they're indicating toward the tall structure.
That'd be a good place to start, I assume. You would rather take the lead?
I will take point.
All right.
Oh,
I will hide in the shadows, but fall behind.
with
Hey,
every
George.
step I make, more dancing lights appear around my foot.
And that is why I do not ask if we do a group stealth, because I do not want to be anywhere near that
fair
shit.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, if you're stealthing, roll stealth. If not, carry on.
I don't stealth. I just walk.
Yeah.
Hey,
Those two are
The
stealthy.
sneakiest otter. He's under the
The
He's a
dog.
freaking
lights-
otter.
The lights emitted by Kindle's boots are so eye-catching that it would be impossible to notice the otter walking next to her.
and he just
Yeah,
like
some shadow play going on. It's like, yeah, I can't see it.
reaches into his
Attack
back and
it
rubs something between his hands and rubs it on himself.
God, I can see it.
Becomes a similar color to the building.
Artificial camouflage. Nice.
Moving forward, as you approach the building, aided by the dog, it appears to be relatively hollow inside. It may have been a bell tower or similar in the past. There is, however, a cellar door, but the door is missing. The wood has since long rotted away. It leads into some sort of cellar.